Testing. I want to say thank you to Zach for the beautiful piano prelude as we started the ceremony. Good morning. My name is Ed Basso, and I'm President of Educational Programs and Superintendent here at Perkins. It is truly my honor to welcome you to the ELP graduation ceremony today, the 103rd class of ELPs. We are thrilled to have you join us to celebrate this unique and talented group of leaders that have demonstrated the necessary courage, skills, and most importantly, the heart to go out and create impactful change around the world. In a world with so much chaos and uncertainty, it is easy sometimes to feel overwhelmed and to lose hope. But if you have had the opportunity to spend just a few minutes with this group, their passion, their fire, their positive energy would inspire you in an unwavering hope and belief for a better future for all children and families that we are so privileged to serve. Margaret Wheatley, in her book, Who Do You Choose to Be? Facing Reality, Claiming Leadership, and Restoring Sanity, talks about what we need in the world in terms of leadership. She says we need leaders, those that put service over self, who can be steadfast through crisis and failures, who want to stay present and make a difference for people, situations, and causes they care about. We need leaders who are committed to serving people. She encourages us to use whatever power and influence we have, working with whatever resources are already available, mobilizing the people who are with us to work for what we care about. These graduates right here, indeed, are those leaders. Again, I extend a warm welcome and my appreciation for your presence here for this very special day.
Thank you, Ed. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Jacobs, and I'm the Director of the Educational Leadership Program here at Perkins School for the Blind. On behalf of the ELP team of Samantha Ely, Dina Fiore, and myself, I'm honored to be here today to share and highlight an attribute we have witnessed in this remarkable ELP class of 2024. That attribute is strength. It reminds me of the song, You Can Do This Hard Thing by singer-songwriter Carrie Newcomer. This refrain captures the core of the ELP class. She sings, I'm not going to sing, but she sings. You can do this hard thing. You can do this hard thing. It's not easy, I know, but I believe that it's so. You can do this hard thing. At some point over the last 8 months, each of these international scholars faced challenges, and yet each one of them found a pathway forward towards resolution. Perhaps this makes this day even more special. This group of professionals have found their way forward by doing hard things. And now we celebrate their accomplishments and their growth with today's ELP graduation. It takes many fine qualities to be an international scholar in the ELP program. It takes strength to leave your country, your family, your friends for 8 months, and courage to become fully immersed in learning and sharing at Perkins School for the Blind. They have shown their strength to reflect on their professional practice and had the confidence to have thoughtful conversations. These international scholars also had the willingness and the courage to innovate, to dream big for their countries, and design a plan that will change the lives of children with disabilities in their home countries. Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke said, "We actually transform the world from within our hearts." This incredible group transforms ideas with their intellect, their heart, and their intuition. These ELPs have been called to show their strength, their determination in so many ways, as a group and as individuals. Dr. Lily Talenjing from Indonesia, you have been committed to learning everything, I mean everything, about early intervention so that you can start a program for children with multiple disabilities and visual impairment in the National Eye Hospital in Indonesia. And you were the first pediatrician in our program. Shushanik, yes, nice. Shushanik Dumakin from Armenia, you showed us your dedication to learn English, which allowed you to share your brilliant ideas and your excellent training strategies with us. When you return home, you plan to train teachers on total communication and story boxes. Valentina Fernandez from Chile, you astounded us with your active listening skills and your expert questions, ensuring that you would understand all areas of augmentative and alternative communication. You have been chosen by your class to present graduation remarks, and we will hear from you later. Thank you for that. Matar Jagni from the Gambia, you showed your dedication to advocacy for children not being served. You will identify children who are deafblind, who are currently not going to school, and then set up the first deafblind classroom at your School for the Blind in the Gambia. Jovana Krishik from Serbia, you have been gathering strategies and creating a plan to work with your principal at your school. You plan to bring your talents and your quiet, powerful leadership to serve young children with complex communication needs. Fabeline Ann Palma from the Philippines, you are passionate about making sure that all children who are deafblind will not be left behind. You have made many plans for enhancing the educational services for children with multiple disabilities and visual impairment and deafblindness by adapting devices and creating a handbook for teachers. Dr. Sini Reggie Thomas from India, you willingly shared your knowledge and your enthusiasm for supporting learners in inclusive education. You have created an amazing plan called Early Buds to develop early intervention for all children in India. Tasneem Siag from Jerusalem, you are an extraordinary occupational therapist with many ideas for adaptations and making life accessible for all. In Jerusalem, you will plan to collaborate with other programs using cardboard carpentry. Brene Brown, a research professor from the United States, says courage and strength starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. These ELPs have let themselves be seen by all of you here today and all of you joining us online. They know who they are and why they are here. These ELPs are focused and committed, and their strength and their courage will help them accomplish their dreams. Thank you. The ELP graduating class of 2024 has had many transformations, and we know they will continue to show their love, their strength, and their dedication to the infants, children, and young adults and their families in rural and cities around the globe. The ELP team wishes you joy and success in all your professional endeavors. Please remember, everyone in this room and the Perkins community is here to support you and your efforts to create a more inclusive world. Congratulations, ELP class of 2024. I now have the honor of introducing the secondary chorus, who will sing two really beautiful international pieces.
This song is in Mongolian. It's all about a chatty little magpie bird.
Thank you. Thank you to the secondary choir and to their director, Arnie Harris, for those fantastic songs. Indeed, we have had educational leadership program graduates from 97 countries over the years, one of them being Mongolia, and many of which speak French. So these were wonderful selections. Thank you. The educational leadership program began with a concept of training leaders from around the world more than 100 years ago. Since 1920, exemplary leaders have been coming to Perkins to be together, to learn, to share, just as we're doing today. Why? Well, the reason is because we all share this belief and this vision for the world that every child can learn. That's what we have in common. Though we each come from different families, from different communities, from different states or countries or continents, we all share this common vision that every child can learn. Now, once we've established that, what next? Well, then we have quite a large job ahead of us, and that is to help children with disabilities find their place in the world. How do we do that? How do we help children with disabilities find their place in the world? Lisa has just described some of the very specific ways that this year's class will do that when they return home. But I would like to offer, in general, an idea that we're very familiar with here at Perkins. And that is that Perkins-trained teachers are miracle workers. We've been called miracle workers. In fact, there's books and movies and plays about this idea that Perkins trained teachers are miracle workers. Now, miracles actually take work. That's why we're called miracle workers. They don't just happen. There's quite a lot of time and effort and heart and strength that goes into working a miracle. But in particular today, I'd like to highlight three things, three elements that go into working a miracle. And it's not just for Perkins trained teachers, by the way. I'm sure that everyone here today is working on their own little miracle in some part of their life. So let me offer you these three ideas. What does it take to work a miracle? The first is courage. And for this one, I have to think of Anne Sullivan, the original miracle worker. The courage that it took her as a young girl to stand up and get herself to Perkins as a student. If you don't know that story, you should Google it. It's pretty amazing. Later, as a Perkins trained teacher herself, the courage that it took to leave her home here in Massachusetts and go to Alabama, which is just as far away now as it was then, although it probably took her longer to get there and she couldn't search up on the internet first what exactly she was walking into. But with great courage, she took that first step, just as many of us take it each day, into the unknown, with this idea that something could be done. Now, Anne Sullivan and Helen Keller and that story was almost 200 years ago. But just this morning, actually, in Poland, we completed the very first training with a group of 20 educators and professionals who will be going around and working with children with disabilities and their families in Poland. These are children who are refugees of the conflict in Ukraine, who have left their homes, everything they've known, find themselves in a strange country without the support that they knew back at home. I think there's many children around the world that face these challenges now. And just this morning, we started the first of many trainings to build a team who will courageously go and find these children and work with these families and help them to have the support that they need to learn. So that's the courage part. It's doing what many of us do every day in different ways, going where the children are. After courage, I'd like to also talk about confidence. And when I think of confidence, I think of actually an educational leadership program graduate who I met recently in Indonesia. So in March, I met Tuti Hendrawati, who's a class of 2018, not long ago. Tuti was sitting right where you all are sitting now. And Tuti took myself and Ami Tango, who directs our programs in Asia Pacific, to schools in Indonesia. In one of these schools, we met a girl named Irene. Irene is deaf. She's 11 years old, the same age as my daughter, actually. She had never attended school. She cannot read. She cannot write. She has no sign language. So Irene was communicating with a series of gestures and expressions, but you could see in her face she had so much more to share. There's many, many reasons why Irene had never attended school. Her family and her community face many challenges. And so it could seem overwhelming to even suggest that Irene could begin to learn sign language. But Tuti and Ami, these Perkins trained teachers, had the confidence to see that opportunity and to take responsibility for it. And to say, no, we begin here, we begin now. That was in March. And just this week, I saw a video of Irene. She's now working with a tutor. She's now communicating. She's chatting with her friends like every 11-year-old good girl should. This is what confidence can do. And confidence is not only action, it's responsibility, it's accountability. So I say to you, class of 2024, as you're sitting in your seat, it's a very special spot that you have today on the stage and in the world. We've already selected next year's class. more than 160 applications. So the spot you have is very special. It's a great responsibility and it's a great accountability to many of the graduates who will come after you and to those who came before, to take with confidence the role that you'll have now going forward into the world. So courage, confidence. The third one maybe is the most important, and that's collaboration, because you don't go alone. The graduating class of the Educational Leadership Program joins a community of more than 300 graduates all around the world, spanning countries and generations, all of whom are working together to realize this vision that every child can learn and to help children with disabilities find their place in the world. So we collaborate together as fellow graduates of the program. We collaborate with teachers, with families, with government, with policymakers, and most importantly, with this global Perkins community. If you're here today, even if for the first time, welcome. You're now part of the global Perkins community. And you join a powerful cohort of people all around the world who share this passion for what is possible, who know what it takes to work a miracle. In this world, when we help children with disabilities find their place, we help uncover places for many more people. Maybe even ourselves. So ELP, class of 2024, this is the miracle you are about to work, to build a world where everyone belongs.
Now another really fun part of today's program is to give the Educational Leadership Program participants their diplomas. So as I'll say your name, you can come up and get your diploma from Samantha and also shake hands with Katie Holland and Samantha and enjoy the moment. And there's going to be a photograph taken. And our first diploma goes to Dr. Lily Chayani Tandling. Shushanik Dumikian. Valentina Fernandez. Matar Jani. And we also would like to invite Marianne Riggio to the stage. Marianne Riggio, as everyone knows, has educated and trained many people throughout New England and all around the world. And we have a Marianne Riggio scholarship. And Matar is the first recipient of the Marianne Riggio scholarship. Thank you, Mary Ann. Thanks so much. Our next ELP to get their diploma is Giovanna Krishik. Babeline Ann Palma. Dr. Sini Ridgie Thomas. And last but not least, Tasneem Siag. Can we have one big round of applause for the class of 2024? Thank you. And now I'd like to ask Valentina Fernandez as the class speaker. She was chosen by her peers to share some remarks.
Uy. Good morning, maybe, I don't know, to everyone present here today, whether if it's in person or online. My name is Valentina Fernandez and I'm from Chile. First of all, I just want to say that I will try my best not to cry because no one will understand anything and it will be super awkward, but I will try my best. I'm a crier, but I can't promise anything. Today is really an extraordinary day. See? Oh, whew. Not only we mark the end of a stage in our lives today, but also the beginning of new adventures and challenges. I feel truly honored to speak to you today on behalf of this amazing group that I love with all my heart. We are gathered here today because of the Educational Leadership Program at Perkins School for the Blind. This program has brought together 8 individuals from different corners of the world with different languages and different stories to share. For 8 months, we left our homelands to embark on a journey of learning and growth here in the United States. And what a journey it has been. Before coming here, we had many expectations of what this place would be like, the experiences we would have, and everything that we would learn. But being here is a completely different story that surpassed any expectation or dream. Looking back, I can say with certainty that this program has transformed our lives in ways we could never imagine. Not only we gained technical knowledge and learn about leadership, but we have also learned invaluable lessons about empathy, resilience, and the importance of serving others. At Perkins, we have witnessed the incredible human capacity to overcome obstacles and triumph over adversity. We have seen in so many examples that disability does not define a person and that everyone, regardless of our differences, deserve equal opportunities and respect. I am sure that from now on, Sini, this goes especially for you, we will never forget that all children can learn. We might as well just get a tattoo with this thing on our bodies. But really, as educational leaders, we have the responsibility to ensure that all children have access to quality education and services that enable them to reach their full potential and find their place in the world. And this is the core of the Educational Leadership Program. Today, as we celebrate our graduation, we remember with gratitude and want to thank all the people that made this unforgettable experience possible for us. We want to say thank you to Dave Power, Ed Bosso, Katie Holland, for helping us feel empowered and believe in the change we can create. To Perkins International and all the regional directors for giving us the incredible opportunity to be here. To all the coaches who supported us during the creation of our Shark Tank, all your advice helped us showcase our dream and soon to make it a reality. Thank you also to all the donors who support our work and participation in this program. Thank you to all the people who came to teach us, trainers, volunteers, for sharing your time, your experience, your knowledge, and expertise in the ELP headquarters or in Boston College. We also want to thank the cottages, the teachers, the teacher assistants, who opened the doors of their classrooms to welcome us and make us a part of their daily lives, sharing your knowledge, strategies, and just simply having fun with you all these days. All of you influenced us. In one way or another, you are a part of the change that we will make in our countries. And of course, thank you to all the ELP students. Thank you for allowing us into your lives, for connecting with us, and for teaching us so much. After all, you are our purpose to become a better person and professional. And of course, you are our better teachers, our best teachers that we could have. Thank you to all the schools and programs who opened their doors to us and learn about the wonderful work you do every day. And of course, a big, huge thank you to the ELP team. Dina, even though you were far away, you always made sure that we had everything we needed in our daily life to basically survive. To Samantha Ely, for ensuring that our experience here was what each of us needed, and for literally solving any problem we may have, even before we knew we had a problem. To Lisa Jacobs, for all the love, the patience, and knowledge you gave us, but above all, for believing in us and for teaching us that no dream is too big. We learn by example, and we are very lucky to have learned from the two great leaders that you are. And of course, we cannot forget to thank our families, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, who encouraged us to come here and gave us all their support. As we look to the future, we will carry with us the precious memories and lessons learned here at Perkins. We are committed to continue to be advocates for equal opportunities and for accessible education and medical services for every child. On this graduation day, let's celebrate not only our individual achievements, but also our collective ability to inspire change and make the world a more compassionate and welcoming place for all. May our voices and actions rise, proclaiming the importance of diversity and inclusion so that everyone can feel seen and heard. It is so hard to express with words what it means for us to be here, but I think that if you could only see through our hearts, you would understand everything. Dear ELPs, Lily, Shushanik, Matar, Tasneem, Sini, Babylin, and Yavanna. This opportunity is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and we were lucky enough to have it. I can't wait to see how with your commitment and dedication, you will transform the lives of children around the world. Katie Holland and Dave Power once told us that we may forget the details of what we experienced, but we will never forget how we felt. So let's not forget how moved and inspired we felt here. And let's use that emotion to transform the world into a fairer or more accessible place for people with disabilities. It is a great responsibility, but I am sure that each step will be firmer and that each of our dreams will come true. Thank you so much for sharing this amazing experience together. And thank you all for being here to share this moment with us. because your presence makes this day even more memorable for us. Thank you, and congratulations to all the graduates. One more little thing. For the first time, an ELP group has worked together to create a yearbook that presents us as a class, collecting our best memories. So we are very happy today to invite Katie Holland and Ed Bosso to give to them the very first edition of this ELP yearbook in the version of the ELP class of 2024.
How is anyone supposed to follow that? I don't know. But I'll start with the same gratitude that Valentina was sharing. I want to thank everybody here today for being present and being part of the ELP's lives. Because not only do we give, but we get so much from this group. And so my gratitude is to both ELPs and to the audience here for all that you give and get. I especially want to thank Wendy Buckley for being our ASL interpreter today. She gives so much so often, and people don't recognize it. And she has to interpret what I'm saying. So thank you, Wendy Buckley. I want to thank Arnie and Vera and the music staff for all the work that they do to make sure that we always have the gift of music here. So thank you, Arnie and Vera, for that work. And Jenny. Marion, thank you for the beautiful flowers. Marion is always here providing us with the beautiful flowers. So thank you, Marion. And a special thank you to Zach for providing the music for us. And so in a minute, we'll ask Zach to do a close with Piano Sonata number 17. But one second, I have one more gift for the class of the 103rd class, I'll say. So I want to thank each of you for being the amazing human beings. Katie asked me how you don't cry up here, and I said, I don't know, you just breathe. So I'm going to breathe for a sec. This is an incredible group of leaders, but amazing human beings sitting before you. But it's time for you to take all the experiences that you've gained here, the knowledge. It's time for you to let that manifest into the life-changing work that we need in the world for all of our students and families. We know just by seeing you that you're destined for great things. So before I let you leap and create your own ripples, I'm going to make you promise me one thing. To always lead with what? With love. Lead with love, please. It's what will change the world. So as I close here, I'm going to do an ASL version. Some of you have seen this because I did it at the DBI conference a few years back, but I'm going to do an ASL version of a famous haiku by Matsuo Basho. He was a great master of the Japanese haiku, and he was really known for his simplistic yet powerful messages that he delivered through haikus. And this one is called, one of his most famous is called The Old Pond. And there are so many translations of it, but I just picked one English translation that could give you a sense, because when I perform it, there'll be no interpretation. So the English translation is Old Pond, frog leaping, splash. So I'm going to go ahead and express that in ASL, and then we're going to let us move on. So that'll be the last thing we do today. So, and I'm going to face a little bit to the ELPs because it's to them. That concludes the program. Thank you, Zach Fabiola. Thank you.
Can we hear a round of applause again for the class of 2024? Thank you.
That's a very big